folks, it is TIJ Gaming. Welcome back to the Football Manager 2021 Beta Save with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Today, it is time for part 6 of Season 2 of the save. The save is going so quickly, it's incredible really, isn't it? We're in January 2022 now. We're not even at the end of 2020 in real life. Very frightening. But in today's episode, we play against Aston Villa. They come to the Molineux. We're hoping to do the double over them after we beat them in the away match. I think it was 2-0 against them. I can't remember. And then we play against Valencia away from home in the first leg of the first knockout round of the Europa League. But genuinely, I know I made a hint at it last time out. We are genuinely in the title race. Something that at the start of the season, I wouldn't have even thought of. We'll look at the league table in just a minute. But let's have a look at how we have left after the games we've played. Now, apart from the FA Cup, which I'll come on to in a minute, in the league, we are unbeaten in January. We've only lost 2 games for a long while. I think we've lost 4 games all year, haven't we? And we lost the second and third match. So, since then it's been brilliant. In the match after the Liverpool game, we drew against Burnley. Funnily enough, we've had a few 0-0 draws against Burnley. It's the wrong game it's clicked on now. Yeah, we had that 0-0 last year as well. They just seemed like a bugger to get past Burnley, and we just couldn't do anything against them. So we dropped 2 points there, which was a concern. But our goal scoring concerns really were unfounded in the next 2 matches. We went and beat Fulham by 5-0. They are really struggling. After that match, they did sack Scott Parker. Let's have a quick look at how they're getting on in the Europa Conference League. They did qualify for the next round, which is good to see. I like to see English clubs do well. They've got AAB in the first knockout round, so they should do pretty well to get through that, you would have thought. But Fulham are a club that are really struggling, particularly in the league. We then went and put 4 past Everton, which I was fairly surprised at. This was going to be a close match. I think it was 4th against 8th at the time. You can see that it was fairly close in terms of possession, but they had 2 shots. Their XG was so low, it was unbelievable. It was all over by half-time, really. 3 goals in the first half an hour, and we got a late one courtesy of Campana to supplement that. Then we lost to Watford in the FA Cup 4th round. That's a bit of a stinker, really. I wanted to do well in the FA Cup this year. We did rotate a little bit, you can see, but it just wasn't good enough. Troy Deeney got a late goal. It wasn't good enough from us, and we're out the FA Cup, unfortunately. But in our last match at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest, we got a little win against them and got 3 points. So after that, we're in 4th in the league. Now, you can see Liverpool are 1 point behind us, but they have played an extra game. We're going to have a look at Liverpool's game because they beat Crystal Palace 11-1. Wow. That is incredible. How many goals did Salah get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Salah. Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What a result that is. Man City have beaten Chelsea as well in the last match. That's a crucial one. That's why I say we're in the title race. Because if we go and win this match against Villa today, we're only 6 points behind top of the table Chelsea. Man United and City, who have they got to play in their games in hand now? United have beat Leeds. Man City played Tottenham in their game in hand. So that could go either way. I'd like Tottenham to go and win that. What about Manchester United in the next few matches? They've got Leicester, Everton, West Ham. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, it should be an interesting one. We'll see how we get on. But we've got this big match against Villa to get sorted first. But as the video title will probably suggest, Neves has gone. Not yet. Not yet, but probably will have gone by the end of the episode. That's why he's still on the thumbnail. Now, I said at the end of the last episode I'd been fairly happy because Tottenham had expressed interest in him. They never made a bid. A few matches after, Paris Saint-Germain made a bid of, I think it was 40 million at first. I went, no, I'm not taking that. I want 60 million for him. I'm fairly sure, yeah, 60 million on the nose. So, no instalments or any crap like that. If he is to go, he's going to go for 60 million. I've told him, can you push things on a bit? Because we have agreed a deal to sign Renato Sanchez from Lille in France. Again, he hits that tick of being a Portuguese player for once and seems like the perfect replacement for Ruben Neves. And he's going to cost us £37.5 million. So a net 22 million gain. Renato Sanchez, 24 years of age. You can see that compared to Neves, they're fairly similar players. You can see Sanchez has got a lot more physicals, speed, albeit Neves probably a better all-round player, but Sanchez is a cracking player. They're pretty much the same age. Renato Sanchez 5 months younger. So Ruben Neves will probably be out by the end of the episode. It's the transfer deadline tomorrow, so he's either going to go or not. Obviously, if he doesn't go, we're not going to sign Sanchez. There's no point us having him if Neves is still at the club. Now, we are going to be spending an extra £40,000 a week. Neves on 60, we negotiated a £100,000 a week deal for Sanchez. And as you'll notice, we've also got a deal going through for Odion Ighalo, who's currently on trial with us, and he's going to be joining the club on a 1 year's contract. But £13,000 a week, effectively a Balotelli figure, given that Campana's not been playing very well recently. He's got an average rating of 6.8 when he's played. He's played 12 games for us, 5 goals, not too bad at all really, but it's not been great. So I need somebody as a third backup, because after Campana, the options are pretty limited. So we're looking to bring him in before the deadline. The usual team, so I'm not going to go through much. This is Willy Bolly's first game back since his African Cup of Nations appearances. So I'm guessing that... What nationality is he? I've forgotten now. Let's have a quick butchers. Willy Bolly is Ivorian from Ivory Coast. So they did go through. What's their schedule looking like? Okay, they lost in the quarter-final to Mali. That makes sense. I was wondering, well, they've got through. What's going on here? But Villa with a decent side here. But we should be able to do the double over them, you would have thought. I mean, Villa are in pretty good form, apparently. 5th place in the form book. But we are at home. You've seen that we've got a very good run of form. And the only thing that can jinx us, I suppose, here is the classic that since the last few games, we have closed FM and opened it back up again. That's always something that can be a bit of a jinx. But fingers crossed, we should be okay. Wolves players, yeah, very convinced that didn't cross the line. So we will be playing a Newcastle. I think it's Newcastle we're playing anyway in the intervening matches. We're going to play the Newcastle match off camera because, you know, it's not the most exciting game in the world. And then we'll play against Valencia on camera. I wanted to play that first Europa League match on camera. I didn't want to do an extra episode. It seemed a bit silly, really. But we will be doing that second leg in the 7th episode. Good clearance, though, there from, I think it was Connor Cody, and Raul Jimenez connects very early on here, 2 minutes in. But quite a poor attack, really, there. Travis gets it just fine for Aston Villa. Villa, as I say, in fairly good form. 11th mid-table, not too bad at all. And, I mean, Arsenal are a club that are really struggling. Mikel Arteta not been... I mean, look at that. Wow. We've got to attack. We have got to attack on that. Look at that. Look at that formation. It's a 3-3-3-1. I mean, does that sort of formation work? I've never seen it work, but Raul Jimenez takes the lead, 23 minutes in. A good swinging cross from Ward-Prowse from the free kick, and it's Jimenez's 18th goal of the season. Quite a funny one, really. He takes quite a while to get into it, much like last year. A bit like Harry Kane, I suppose, in real life. He used to be famous for not scoring in, was it? I think it was August, yeah, that Harry Kane never used to score in. A bit like Jimenez, I suppose. But once he gets started in a season, he starts scoring well. And he's contributed 18 goals this year. And the wingers have done the same this year. Daniel Podent's not quite in the same form as last year. The question is, I suppose, the talking point is, will we miss Ruben Neves? I went over in the last episode that I think he's got a 6.85 average rating this year. So he's not been the best player in the world. I get that his potential is brilliant, but Renato Sanchez has got a better average rating in the French league. Is he going to be an upgrade? Is it going to take time for him to get used to the squad? I don't know. But on the back of that, I'll just have a look at this highlight first, just in case it is a goal for Villa. And it is a lovely chip there from John McGinn. We have not started the second half well at all. At all. But a nice chip, to be fair, from John McGinn, who got the ball first off. We're not going to watch that twice. I couldn't care less. As long as we can get a second goal here and get the win, I'll be more than happy. I mean, I suppose I'd be fairly happy with a draw, but given how the Villa have set up, I'd be pretty disappointed, I guess, to only get a point out of this. Anyway, Gibbs White, cross to Vinagre. Will the panic be over? Raul Jimenez gets a second. That's more like it. 2-1. Right, back to the talking point. I have offered Moutinho another 12 months contract because, obviously, if it doesn't quite happen with Sanchez behind Ruben Neves, all we've got is Bruno Jordão, who's probably leaving the club anyway because he's unhappy. He's not getting picked, and I think Palace want him for about 18 million. That's a deal I'm happy to go with. But Moutinho's currently on 100 grand a week, and he wants 70. Now, I put forward 60, and he wants 70. And I just think 70 grand, it might be me being a bit stingy, I don't know, but it's just too much. For a player who's effectively going to be a backup player next year, I can't justify paying him that much. I really can't. So I guess we either look to use Morgan Gibbs-White there or Max Meyer. Funnily enough, I completely forgot, actually, that we have sold Meritan Shabani. He wants to leave the club for a little while, to be fair. But we did sell him. He's gone... I can't remember where he's gone now. I think he's gone to Schalke for 5 million, which is good business. Wolves signed him for 1.7 million. He's a player that I liked, a player that I used, but really was little more than a fringe player. He played well when he played for us, but he wasn't a world beater, so 5 million for him, again, is good business. Podence anyway, running along the wing, puts it into Jimenez. Very nearly a hat-trick for Raul Jimenez. I guess you could complain a bit and sound a bit of a hypocrite. And I have thought about this a little bit myself, that we have... That's a shocking tackle. That is from Willy Bolly. That's a concern. But we said at the start of the season we wanted to have a bit more depth in the squad, didn't we? And that's what we've done. But we are starting to get rid of players. Johnny has gone out on loan to Norwich. He's got an optional future fee of £35 million, by the way, which is an absolute, well, good deal for us again. Good bit of business. We are being a bit of a selling club at the moment, but the problem is that starting 11, at least at the moment, changes pretty much none of the time, apart from injury, does it? And obviously rotating players through big runs of matches. So it's so tricky to keep everyone happy. But a good victory there against the Villa. Not the most exciting of matches, but a good 3 points. I'm happy with that. Blah, blah. Send the assistant for that. So that puts us second at the moment. Obviously, you can see Man United, Man City got a game in hand. But at the very least, we have pretty much secured fifth, you could argue, at this point. We're going to be a minimum of 11 points ahead of Tottenham after their game in hand. So that's going to put us at least fifth, which is an improvement on last year. I'll definitely take that. It's been a great season so far. So just to recap, we're going to play Newcastle off camera and then come to you guys for the Valencia match. I'll just quickly show you a few players going out. Shabani has gone 4.5 million. He's gone for, sorry. He went to Augsburg. And Dion Sanderson's also left the club. He starred in the previous FA Cup match by scoring a goal, but he's gone to QPR for £1 million. Not best pleased with that, but he's a player I guess we'll probably really not get in the team, so I don't mind that too much. Let's hope we can get a win against Newcastle. Let's have a look where they are in the league. They're down in 14th. What's their form like? Not too bad, a bit patchy. I mean, they lost 4-1 to the Villa, so that must be a good sign for us. Well, some good news before we get into the Valencia match, but a public service announcement first. I'm going to do a 3-episode special today. I say that because I think it's best just to play both of the legs against Valencia. Looking forward, if we were to play the home leg on the next episode, I'm not really bothered about an away match to Burnley, to be quite honest. So, looking at the schedule, Forest, Everton, Leicester, Arsenal, Norwich, I think these 4 games at the end of the season, no question, are going to be the big ones. So, if we can get through this match against Valencia, then the Europa League is going to take centre stage in the next episode. So, we're going to do the 2 matches in today's episode as well. But another bit of good news, we won the Manager of the Month award. You can see we were unbeaten in the month of January. Apart from that draw against Burnley, we had an 100% record, which was brilliant. We've also replaced Ruben Neves, of course, as vice-captain. Rui Patricio was one that was recommended, but I thought, no, James Ward-Prowse, he's a younger player, it makes a bit more sense. And just a bit of an update on Leander Dendoncker, a name you probably haven't heard for a while. We have received £5.75 million from Atalanta. He's now played 20 games for Atalanta. Obviously, there was a few bits and pieces in his transfer. There were free clauses. We're due another £2.8 million after 14 international appearances. I can't get over that. 30% of the profit mailing in the profit. Okay, fair enough. So about to say, I'm thinking, what? 690,000? I don't think so for a transfer clause. But yeah, thought I'd update you there. Another £5.5 million for Dendoncker. Now we take on Valencia away from home. It's the same team as usual. We've put Sanchez on the bench because I've just realised, by the way, that I've completely dismissed the fact that we played against Newcastle. We beat them 2-0. Funnily enough, Renato Sanchez picked up a bit of a knock before that match, so he didn't get to play. And João Moutinho had a really good game. He scored from a free kick. Raul Jimenez getting the second goal. So we're going to keep Sanchez on the bench for now. We're just going to try and ease him into life here. I think it's very harsh to just go, well, sorry, bye, to not Raul Jimenez, to Mikel Arteta, great. I don't want to just say to João Moutinho, well, you're out of the team straight away. Like any player, Sanchez has got to work for his place. He might well make a substitute appearance today, depending on how we get on against Valencia. Very much an unknown quantity compared to the league, to be honest, isn't it? We're really coming here like we would in any Europa League knockout game. Hopefully get a draw. It'd be brilliant to get a win, but get an away goal. That's one of the big aims, isn't it, from a Europa League, from any continental knockout match, and hopefully win the game. As I said, get a draw at least, and then we go to the second leg at Molineux again in today's episode. A bit of a longer one, but there's no point spreading it out, is there really, if we can do it all today. Good chances early on, though, and Traore's in. I tell you what, we must have had 3 or 4 shots within the first 100-odd seconds here. And I think I'm going to turn the telly off because it's giving me a bit of a Oh no, it wasn't the TV that was giving me the unnatural light. Please, I've got a tan on my face. And Valencia have scored. Well, it's going to go down as a Rui Patricio own goal, which I think is incredibly harsh. Because it looked like the ball had gone over the line before he'd touched it anyway. But it's going to go down as a Patricio own goal. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I suppose he did push it across the line. That's annoying, but oh well. Valencia go 1-0 up. We are unbeaten, apart from that FA Cup match this year. Not this season, but this year. So, this could be the first time outside of the FA Cup that we've been beaten in 2022. It's been a good year for us so far. And also, more exciting news, Chelsea drew their game. So we're now only 4 points away from Chelsea. Absolutely crazy. City have got 58, we've got 56. Chelsea have got 60. Man United, I think, are on 55 with a game in hand, although this isn't going so well, is it? Valencia now 2-0 up within 14 minutes. Not ideal at all. It's a long way back. We have got 2 legs, so I'm not massively concerned. We know that we're pretty good at home. So we're going to go attacking, try and nick one away goal, because it's not all over yet. I'll tell you what, though, if they go 3-0 up within 20 minutes, that could be an absolute disaster for us, couldn't it? As I said, an unknown quantity here, really. I mean, the pundits were saying that the two sides were pretty well matched. Well, based off the first 18 minutes, there's only been one club in this so far. But again, it's a fifth of the game statistically. There's a long way to go. As long as we don't concede a third here, we are still in the game. And that could very much happen, you know, when we do. Wow. Wow. I don't think we've conceded 3, probably apart from maybe against Chelsea this year. I don't think we've conceded 3 in any match this year. This is very different to what we're used to. We're being completely torn apart. And given this formation has worked so well all throughout the year, I can't put my finger on it. Valencia, very close to getting a 4th. This is very strange, but hopefully we can just get back into this, get an away goal at least. I mean, we're not going to get a draw, you wouldn't have thought, out of this, but Vinagre, well, that was a shocker, but decent setup play there from Neto on the left wing. But we've had 7 shots, 5 of them on target, a very peculiar start. We've just been a bit shell-shocked here. I mean, I bet Javi Gracia's happy. I certainly would be half an hour in being 3-0 up. Really would. So, I guess if we can get 1 or 2 away goals here, that'd be great. I mean, Pedro Neto, we're just going for it a bit too much. We're being a bit aggressive. Obviously, we've been irked massively by the fact that we're 3-0 down. And I suppose maybe at half-time, 50 minutes in, it wouldn't be a bad shout to bring Sanchez on and see if he could have a brilliant debut. But this could be 4-0, you know. A good save from Rui Patricio. I mean, if we lose 3-0 here, as it said before, it's a long way back. We need at least an away goal. Good ball from Jimenez to Adama Traore. It's just past the post. Not first past the post, but it's just past the post. We've had 8 shots, 5 of them on target. It's not like we haven't made chances. We've actually got the higher XG figure, which shows that our defensive exploits haven't been too great. But at half-time here, we're going to be a bit shell-shocked. It's something that we haven't experienced for a while, and we're going to have to throw the water bottle. Okay, it annoyed some people, but you know, we're 3-0 down. We've got to. Ward-Prowse having a stinker. So we're going to bring Renato Sanchez on for his first game. See what he can do in the midfield. We didn't sign Odion Ighalo in the end. We brought back Rafa Mir from Southampton on loan. I thought, well, if we've got someone here already who can do the job, then why not? You know what I mean? We've got someone out on loan who could do a job, and that's exactly what we've done. So we've brought him back. We didn't sign Odion Ighalo. We didn't need another player. And hopefully Rafa Mir can be a good backup option. As I said, Campana just not firing at all. So as a backup option, let's see what he does. But Pedro Neto in the box, he shoots. I mean, it's a little bit poor from our guys. I have to say that we're effectively shooting on sight here. We're not really doing a good job. Are we still on the... No, we're not on attacking. So I'm just going to tell our players, try and fire an up. We're not looking too bad in this second half. Hopefully we don't concede another. If we can bring this back to 3-1, 3-2, I'll take it. Vinagre into Sanchez. Sanchez into Adama Traore. Raul Jimenez. Decent play here. Again, we're getting so close to getting a goal, but it isn't quite happening here. This could be a real worry. It could. It could very much be all over. Morgan Gibbs-White looking knackered, so we're going to bring him off. The problem is, we've not got that many central options on the bench, so we're going to have to bring Gibbs-White back into unless one of the other guys can play there. Renato Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez actually looks like a decent player there. We'll put Gibbs-White into the defence. Don't worry, there's a plan here. We'll put Cody with Jaime Moutinho in the midfield and then bring Max Kilman on. He's been a good player this year, Max Kilman. You know, he's really performed. I'm really pleased with him. But let's see if his addition in the defence doesn't break everything up. I don't know. But again, this it's just one of those classic matches. I mean, a cracking save there from Patricio, but it was offside anyway. I honestly don't know. It's one of those matches where we've been really FM'd, isn't it? We've got 20 minutes left and we haven't scored. Let's give Rafa Mir a chance up front. Let's see what he can do. He likes being a poacher, so that's what we're going to play him as. We need to do something different. It's just not worked, has it, at all today? Let's be more direct. All that shoot on sight. Just try and get a goal out of this match. I know I said 2 would be great. I mean, even if we concede another and score 2, I wouldn't be too fussed about it. We've just got to go for something here. Try and get at least 1 goal back because it's going to be incredibly tricky at the Molineux if we are 3-0 down. That looks like exactly what's going to happen. We're powerless here. What do we do? What do we do? 3-0 down within the first 19 minutes. We didn't score a goal. And that is a shocker. You can see our XG was higher than Valencia's. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with that. But that, well, you can see I'm a bit speechless from that. 3-0 against Valencia. I'll tell you what. I mean, we've got a Fulham game next. Let's just hope that that doesn't go wrong. But I'll tell you something. We're going to really struggle now to come back against Valencia. Even at the Molineux. Well, we might be at the Europa League today, but I can't believe I'm saying this. The Premier League is playing right into our hands. Yeah, I cannot believe it at all. Let's just recap what's happened. So in our last match, we went and beat Fulham 4-1. Great stuff, all done in 35 minutes. We did concede one near to the end of the match, but oh well. Then, in the next few matches, Tottenham and Chelsea played one another, and they drew 2 each. West Ham then went and beat Man United. So on paper, we're a point ahead of Man United. That's truthful now. No games in hand or anything like that. We're 2 points behind City. And after Chelsea drop points against Tottenham, if we win 2-0 or by 2 goals in our next game, we go above them. Absolutely crazy. Let's not forget the fact, though, we've had a fairly decent run. These last 4 games are going to decide the Premier League, aren't they? We have had a sale since the last match. A bit of a surprising one, really. Bruno Jordão never really got in the first team. Bit of a one that I'm a bit frustrated about, but oh well. He's gone to Shanghai for 14 million. A signing that can go up to 18 million. Again, good business, but we are losing players pretty quickly. But that being said, we've got good depth in midfield. We've got Ward-Prowse, Sanchez, Moutinho. We've got Cody who can play there. The 2 youngsters. Not necessarily youngsters, but Gibbs White and Max Meyer. And as you can see, you've got Connor Ronan coming through, Taylor Perry. We've got a few players coming through, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. We have got a bit of a sucker punch, though, for this match. Both Willy Bolly and Connor Cody both reached their yellow card limit. So we're having to play Watmore and Kilman at the back in this game, which isn't going to help. But apart from that, it's our normal side. Renato Sanchez making his second start. He started the Fulham match, and to be honest, he created that first goal within 40 seconds. We have got a pretty minute chance here, particularly if Valencia go and score. If they go and score, of course, we'll need 5. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. But we'll see how we get on here. We've produced some bonkers results in the past. I mean, look, we're fighting for the Premier League. That's something that I would never have imagined earlier on in the season. But we've put together a brilliant run. 6 wins in a row now in the Premier League. I think it's 9 unbeaten. I guess the Europa League could be a bit of an unpleasant distraction. But let's see how we do. Again, we put out the best side we can. We're going to go for it today, see how we get on. But 3-0 down after the first leg. Our hopes are pretty slim. This is where the game listens to me, thinks, oh, I feel sorry for him. Let's make sure we have a real shock today. But we're on the attack early on. Good to see. Vinagre on the ball. Can he make anything? He goes alone. Shoots. That was so close. Surely we're not going to have a repeat of the away leg where we keep going so close, but too painfully close and not quite scoring. As I said, there's nothing we can do here. We can just play as well as we can, really, and see if we can get a result. Max Kilman. Vinagre on the ball. It's going to be tricky as well when we come back for the next episode if we don't get through. Hopefully we will, as I've said, but based on the first 20-odd minutes, we're not going to score 4 without reply, are we? I suppose if we get 3, that's okay. It'll get to extra time. But it's tricky where we come back because the big game's the last 4, but it seems incredible to potentially go and win the Premier League and not really show you guys that much of it. Obviously, we've had Europa League action today. We had the 1 Premier League match against the Villa. We've had quite a few extended breaks now. Not how I usually do a season. I tend to come back quite regularly, but the way that the season's gone, we haven't. And to be honest, at half-time, it's going to need a whopper of a second half for us to get back into this. I'm going to say that the guys haven't played too well. I haven't reacted to that too much. Again, it's one of those that was over in the first 20 minutes in the first leg. We were shell-shocked. let them in. I don't think it's going to happen, but Neto, if he can get on the score sheet, he can't. I mean, if we have took our chances in the first and second leg, chances are we could have been 4 or 5 up on aggregate, 4 or 5-3, not 7 or 8. But yeah, this is looking to be a slim chance of us getting through here. So really, that's all we can focus on is the league. We haven't conceded so far, and I'm not surprised because Valencia aren't going to look to score here, are they? I mean, they're just going to look to defend, I would guess. 11 shots, 6 on target. I guess you could say that their defence is pretty good. We're an hour in here. Let's look to make some changes. Martinho's on the bench. We'll bring Renato Sanchez off for him. Just again, trying to keep him on the ground, if you like, in his deal to join Wolves. We're going to bring Adama Traore off as well for Daniel Podence, because it looks like we're not going to get through here. We need to make sure we keep the squad fresh for the Premier League. And that's one advantage we're going to have actually over the other teams, aren't we, if we're not going to get through. If they score here, it's definitely all over. No, we defend. Good. I know it almost sounds like I want to go out, but at this point, knowing we're 3-0 down, knowing it's pretty much over, it won't be the worst thing in the world that we go out of the Europa League. It really won't, because our sides that we're going up against Man City, Man United and Chelsea, which, humanely, we shouldn't be in the same street as them. But they're going to be taking part in probably continental football, probably in the FA Cup. We're going to have less games than them. We can keep fitter, praying that we don't have many injuries. With 11 games to go, I think, in the Premier League, we could genuinely have a go at this. And not having the Europa League as a distraction, it would be great. I mean, looking at our league position, we're going to get at least Europa League football next year. We're going to finish at least 5th, but that would be a disappointment given where we are. There we go. Valencia go 1-0 up. It's going to be 5 goals within the next 10 minutes to get through. It isn't going to happen. It's a disappointment, isn't it? But yeah, all good things must come to an end, I suppose. But we just wanted Europa League football this year. Even if we finish 4th in the Premier League, we get Champions League next year. Obviously, I'm only doing 2 years with the Wolves because I have got a plan for a full save going from season 3 onwards, which I'm already putting some plans in for already. But we are unfortunately out of the Europa League. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with what I saw. It's disappointing. We're going to send our assistant to that. It's frustrating. We're out, but yeah, we didn't deserve anything. I think one of the fans said that there. So we're out of all of the competitions. The club are going to be really annoyed with these 3, but equally, because we've done well in the Premier League, I think that they'd be able to excuse these other achievements. So I think we're going to get 2 episodes before the end of the year. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 episodes left. 11 games left. Where do we come back? I think we play Burnley, Forest, Everton, Leicester. I think we'll play those 4 off camera, possibly, the Burnley to Leicester matches. Then come back for Arsenal and Norwich, because none of these games are winnable. I mean, I'm debating playing all of the last sort of 6 on camera, but I won't. I'm going to play Arsenal and Norwich, and then possibly come back for a 3, maybe even 4 game special. It all depends how things go, doesn't it? So these are provisional. The Arsenal and Norwich game will come back for, but because anything could happen, you just don't know. But with 11 games to go, we're truly in this. We're out of all other competitions now, which is disappointing. As you can see, Raul Jimenez is sniffing that top goal scorer, isn't he? Really is. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We'll be back tomorrow, though, with the penultimate episode of the season. So the beta save will finish on Wednesday, a day after the full game comes out. And then on Thursday, or maybe Friday, depending on whether I'm going to have a day's break or not, we will start our full save. But a long way to go before that. 11 matches to go. Can we win the Premier League? Or we haven't had that typical run where it starts to slip this year. I guess if you're going to win the league, you can't afford to have that run. Will we have that before the next episode? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for daily Football Manager 2021 content. I've been TIJ Gaming. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.
Wolves will still never go. We'll take the goal.